Okay, so right before the trade deadline, the NBA just got hit with a total bombshell. James Harden, an 11-time All-Star, gets shipped from the LA Clippers all the way to the Cleveland Cavaliers. And get this, the whole thing came together in less than 24 hours. But the story he's telling about why it all went down, well, that might be the craziest part of this whole thing.
So Harden gets in front of the reporters and paints this picture of a breakup that's surprisingly cool, almost friendly. He's saying, he respects the Clippers, that they didn't put him in a tough spot. On the surface, it sounds like a totally clean split. But come on, is it just a little too perfect?
Is it really as simple as just outgrowing each other? Or is there something else going on behind the curtain? A completely different story that has way less to do with team chemistry and a lot more to do with cold, hard cash.
All right, so let's dive into that counter-narrative. Because to really get why James Harden is suddenly wearing a Cavs jersey, you gotta look past all the nice words and follow the one thing that almost always drives these mega deals, the money.
So you've got these two totally different stories. In one corner, you have Harden saying he's doing the Clippers a favor, helping them get draft picks for a rebuild. But in the other corner, you have the analysts saying, nope, this was a classic power move by a star who wanted a better contract. And trust me, the analysts are not holding back. As ESPN's Stephen A. Smith put it, well, pretty bluntly, he's just not buying it. He says he respects Harden's talent, but he thinks that official reason is just a smokescreen for the real problem. And this right here, this is the heart of the whole thing, the bad deal. See, Harden signed this really weird contract. It gave him a $42 million player option, so he had control. But, and this is the kicker, only $13 million of that was guaranteed. So he had power, but he didn't have that long-term security. That little detail is the key to this entire drama. And this is where that whole rebuild story just completely falls apart. I mean, rebuilding? The Clippers were on fire. They'd won 17 of their last 21 games and had the best record in the whole league since Christmas. And the timing? It's everything. The reports say Harden only demanded a trade after the team told him no on a new contract extension. So, here's the big question. The Cavaliers knew all this. They saw the contract drama, they saw the messy exit, they saw everything. So why on earth would they risk their entire future on a superstar who just strong-armed his way off another team? Because the potential payoff is massive. Let's be real. James Harden is still an offensive genius. He's an incredible passer, especially when he's got good big men to work with. You put him in the backcourt with Donovan Mitchell, you might have just created the most dangerous scoring duo in the entire league. He's the kind of guy that gets you to the big games, the guy that can carry a team deep into the postseason. And this shows you exactly what Cleveland was thinking. I mean, they've poured something like $300 million into their two big guys, Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen. They watched Harden turn Joel Embiid into an MVP in Philly. So the huge bet here is that he can do the exact same thing for their young bigs and launch them into superstardom. And that is the multi-million-dollar question, isn't it? Harden can get you right to the championship doorstep, but his whole career has been defined by what happens when it's finally time to kick that door down. Just look at this number, 13.8. That's James Harden's average in his last 4 do-or-die Game 7s. For one of the best scorers we have ever seen, that number is it's shocking. It's a pattern of shrinking in the biggest moments that's followed him everywhere he's gone. And as you can see, this isn't a one-off. It's a painful, consistent pattern. Against Boston last year, 9 points. Against Denver, he basically disappeared. And who could forget that historic cold streak against Golden State? It's a long, long history of just not showing up when the lights are the brightest.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a second, because this move isn't just about Cleveland and James Harden. A trade this big sets off a domino effect, sending ripples across the entire league. It could kick off a chain reaction that totally reshapes the Eastern Conference.
See, the Cavs had this patient 5 or 6 year plan built around all their young talent. This trade, it throws that plan right out the window. They've pushed all their chips to the middle of the table. This is no longer a long-term project. It's a 2-year win now or bust championship window. The clock is ticking.
And this is where the story gets really, really juicy. So the Cavs have a championship-level backcourt, elite big men, and one big glaring hole on the roster, small forward. And with a certain somebody named LeBron James about to be a free agent, could this be the blockbuster trade that finally convinces the King to come home? You can see the vision, can't you? You've got Donovan Mitchell, the star, James Harden, the co-star, and then you drop LeBron James into that mix. All of a sudden, you're not just a contender in the East, you might be the instant favorite to win the whole thing. It is a wild possibility.
And remember, Harden isn't the only superstar domino that might fall. The whole league is holding its breath to see what happens with Giannis in Milwaukee. It just goes to show you how one huge trade can set off a whole cascade of other moves across the league. Everything is connected.
So, it all comes down to this one massive question. Was this trade just a desperate gamble on a superstar with a history of coming up short? Or was it the first move in a much bigger chess game? A calculated risk designed not just to win with James Harden, but to build the one team in the one city that could finally bring the king back home for one last run at a title.